back to my channel. My name is Ivana, for those of you guys who don't know me. I asked a question a couple of days ago on my Instagram stories, and a lot of you guys let me know that you'd like to see a makeup tutorial. So I went ahead and filmed this look for you guys today. I'm actually headed out to dinner with my husband, and so this is kind of what I do every time that I do my makeup. Nothing really changes. If you want to see my everyday kind of makeup routine and what I kind of do all the time, this is the video to watch. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like this video. I will list all the products used in the description box below. So grab your makeup, grab your tools, let's go. Let's just jump right into the video, and I hope it's easy for you guys to follow along. Thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. 100 subscribers might not be a lot to many, but to me, each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. So let's get right into it. I made a promise that I would do a makeup tutorial with all the products that I use step by step. So let's go. These are two beauty blenders. Well, this one's a beauty blender and this one's a Paw Wonder Blender sponge. You can get these on my Amazon storefront. I think they're between $10 and $12, if not less than that. This one's like about $20, so I really love the Paw blenders, but I do use both. So you're gonna need some beauty blenders. And then you're just gonna need some makeup brushes. Use whatever makeup brushes you have. So let's get started. So I'm gonna use this Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer pencil. I'm going to use that to carve out my brows. That's the first thing that I do. So this comes with like a double-ended kind of thing. It has the pencil and it has the brush. So I just brush my brows up like so. And then I just like carve them out. I try to use a very light hand when I'm using this pencil. That way I don't make it too dark. So I kind of just use a very light hand, and I use the pencil in the way that the brows normally go. So follow the natural brow hairs as you use the pencil to create your brow shape. So as you can see, I'm like carving it out. Just gonna brush it through, and then I'll do the other one, because you can always go back and apply more, but it's very hard to like take some away once you've already put too much. After we complete our entire makeup look, we're 100% able to go back at the end and darken the brows if needed. You can use any eyebrow pencil that you want. These are just the ones that I prefer. And this is in the color dark brown. So the brow definer in dark brown. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a flat brush, a flat concealer brush. I'm gonna use this to carve out my brows with a concealer. The concealer I'm gonna use is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, tried and true. You get this at the beauty supply store. I believe it's $3, or if not $4 now because of inflation. But I still love this. This one's in the color medium. Actually, no, this is in the color Cool Tan. It's the closest shade, I guess, to my skin tone. Bottom first, and then now I'm going over the top and just like following the natural shape of my brow. I like to use this brush because it's like dense, it doesn't move too much, and it's just easy to create that line for me. Voila, the brows are shaped. Okay, so now I'm just gonna use the same flat shader brush and concealer brush, and I'm just going to do like this and bring the concealer down into my eyelid, cover up any dark spots with it, and it just blends seamlessly. This concealer has never done me wrong, and I just bring this up here into like any dark spots I have. So your brows are sisters, not twins. If they don't look exactly the same, it's totally okay. Just keep it moving. It doesn't have to look, they don't have to match exactly. Okay, so the brows are carved out. I blended out this concealer. Now let's move on. Okay, the next thing I do is I'm going to use this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer on my eyelid in Medium Honey. And I'm just going to put the applicator straight to my eyelid here and the other eyelid here. And I'm gonna take my beauty blender and I'm gonna blend this out. So I don't let it sit for too long. This concealer is kind of dry, but I don't want this to sit too long because it can be kind of difficult to blend if you let it sit on your lid for too long. Like it'll stay there. Like as you can see, like already right here, I let this one sit. I blended this one out first. You can see that it's already like where I placed it, it's staying. So that's why you kind of have to move quick with this concealer. So we're going to start applying the eyeshadow to our eyes. Now, you can use whatever eyeshadow palette you want. I'm going to use this Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is the, I don't know, I think it's just called the Jaclyn Hill palette. Pretty sure. But that's what we're using, okay? I think it's, I forget what it's called. This is not, yeah. I don't know, I think it's just called the Jaclyn Hill palette. That's what it says. So I'm going to use this Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to use the color Buns all over my lid. So I just get a brush. This is a dirty brush, okay? You need a clean brush. Don't be like me. Get a clean brush. I have to clean my brushes, but I'm still going to use this one. This is the Morphe M441 brush. Putting it in Buns, and I'm just going to go all over my lid like so. And this is going to be my transition shade, so I just apply it right in the lid, a little bit here in the inner corner of my eye, like up to my brow bone, because I'm going to contour that area later, and it just looks better if you bring it into where you're going to contour later. This brush still has a lot of product on it from the last eyeshadow I used, so this is why the color payoff is so great. If I had a clean brush, I just feel like the color probably wouldn't be that much. So see, this eye, like I already used all the product on that eye. There we go, just add some more. And I'm just using my brush, and I'm not using a heavy hand with the brush either. My fingers are like at the tip of the brush, and just I'm going in like kind of circular motions and into the inner corner of my eye with the brush. Like in circular motions. I try not to go like all the way up to the brow because I like the way that that looks. The transition there, like leaving it a little bare. I just don't want to cover it too much because I want to give it that like ombre effect. So we're going to use two other shadows. Get another brush. I'm going to use this fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M330 brush. And I'm going to go into this darker shade here. Mocha and a little bit of chip, and I'm gonna go right into my crease. My crease is kind of like, I don't know, like it folds a little bit weird. I don't know if you call it, like, it's not really a monolid, but I don't know how to explain it. My crease literally is just like I don't have a crease really, so I have to kind of find it. So how I like to find it is like right underneath my brow bone. That's my crease. And I can feel it if I hold my eye like this tight. I can feel it right here, and I'm gonna place that right there. That's where I feel the bone. And I kind of windshield wiper motions, not heavy hand. And I drag it out this way to kind of create that like V effect. And you wanna bring it into your inner corner. Blend, blend, blend. I'm using the tip of the brush on my inner corner though. So the last brush that you use, you're gonna need to pick that back up. And we're gonna blend out any like mistakes or just any extra blending we need to do. Because the eye look is all about blending. So I'm getting that same brush back, and I'm just gonna like blend out any mistakes that I might have made so that it looks seamless. Now we're going to use a PLOUISE base. You can use an eyeshadow for this one, this part as well. This is in the PLOUISE base in Rumour number 2. I'm gonna get another concealer brush. Let's use this one here. This is a Sigma large shader brush, the E60 brush. I don't know if they have this one. I got this at I think TJ Maxx, so I think it's discontinued, but I'm just gonna do like that, and I can, if I look up, then it'll find my crease, so I'm just gonna put that right there. After we do this, we can go in and darken any shades. If you want it a little bit more dark, you want a little more color, we're gonna do that at the end. So I'm just using the very first brush I used, the M441 brush, and I'm just blending everything together. So even the darker shade, when I use the fluffy brush for chip, that M430 brush, the one I use here in the crease, like right underneath my bone, you can go back in there and just darken it up a little. Go back and forth as many times as you need until everything looks pretty much seamless. Next, we're gonna put some eyeliner on. I'm gonna use Feline by MAC. It's like a kohl pencil. Where is it? Here it is, Feline by MAC. It's an eye kohl. So I'm just going to like put this in my, what is this area of the eye called? Like on my lash line. We're going to get our lash glue. I'm gonna use a duo lash glue. It's the one that dries clear, the one with the green top. I always misplace it, but it's right here. This one. The lashes I'm using are gonna be linked in my Amazon storefront. I have already used these lashes, I think at this point 8 times. I'm pretty fast at applying lashes. I think I've like mastered it now, unless I'm rushing, which I'm not. I have time. I'm actually about to go out to dinner with my husband, so I decided to do a little tutorial real quick. So just apply the glue directly to your lash line. Let's do both eyes. I need a new lash glue. This one's pretty disgusting. I know I have another one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I gotta find it. Apply it directly to the lash line. It's okay if a little bit gets in the lashes. I mean, I think I put too much on this eye, but it dries clear, so no big deal. I like to start with the middle. Apply the middle of the lash and then fix the outer and inner corner. In that order. Corner and boom. Look how quick. Pop that lash on. Okay? So the lashes are on. Now we're going to do our base. So we're using the E.L.F. Power Grip Primer. So you're just going to apply that directly to your face. Rub it in. And let it sit for just like, until it gets like tacky on your face. When you do this, where it feels bouncy. It's super important to hydrate your skin before you do this. Try to use a water-based moisturizer, water-based products. This is a water-based product. That can prevent your makeup from separating if you use the same kind of like products, so like water-based stuff. So the moisturizer that I used was water-based, and the primer is also water-based. The foundation we're going to be using today is Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'm in the color Tahoe. So usually I like to use a brush to do this, but I don't have a brush. So I'm going to be using my Paw Beauty Blender that I showed you guys in the beginning. I'm going to put 3 pumps. 1, 2, that's a 2, and 3. That's all I need. Now I'm just going to apply this directly to my face and just cover up any blemishes, because I just want my real skin to still peek through the makeup. That way it doesn't look super cakey. You don't need that much foundation, honestly. And I really like this sponge because it doesn't soak up the product. It helps evenly spread everything, and you don't need that much product. I don't need to add any more pumps unless I feel like I want just a little bit more coverage. But after I put like concealer and all that jazz, I just feel like I'll have enough coverage. Now that I've applied all my foundation, I'm going to apply my concealers. The concealer I'm going to be using today is going to be the Born This Way concealer, and this is in the color Sand. I'm going to put this right underneath, not where my face, not where my eye crease is. I'm placing this underneath the crease. I know that you guys see people doing this differently today. Some people are just doing like the inner corner here and then this thing here like this. I'll show you. They're doing it like this these days. Hold on. Like this. They're putting some here and just here, and that's like it, and then they're going here. I like to do the old way, and the old way is this way. That gives me the best look, I feel like. In my opinion, if I'm gonna go like full glam, like I want full beat, this way it works best for me. So let's just do the same thing to the other side. While I let that settle in, I'm gonna contour my face and I'm going to blend that out. So you're gonna need this is a black opal. We're using for contour is this black opal True Color foundation stick. This is in the color Carob. So I'm just gonna use this brush from Sephora. This is a pro foundation brush, just the number 47, and I'm going to place it on my forehead here. And I'm gonna blend as I kind of go, put as much as I think I need. I just really love the way that this brush just like gets like in like this, like the way that it just sits like on my skin is perfect. I'm gonna go right here, right above my cheekbone. My cheekbone's kind of like here. I'm going literally right above there, and I'm brushing upwards. Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm gonna go into the foundation stick and I'm going to contour my nose. I'm bringing it up here. So you see why I said like it's important to bring the eyeshadow like into the inner corner, because now we're placing this cream contour here and we're just gonna brush it up so that it just goes seamless. It just looks like your nose, like it's already like that, like snatched. Our concealer's been sitting, so get your beauty blender or your Paw sponge. I'm gonna use my beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend out my highlighted concealer. And I'm using a very like light hand as I like bounce the beauty blender back and forth on my skin and pressing the product into my skin. And I'm bringing it up here. The nose. And then let's go back. I'm gonna go back with my Paw and I'm gonna use the bottom of the beauty blender where I placed my foundation from earlier, and I'm just gonna use that to blend out any harsh edges from the contour and like blend the highlighting concealer together. So I'm just using whatever was left on that sponge to do that. Not a lot of product, but it does help get your blend right. Everything is looking kind of blended. We're gonna do some more blending. You can go back with the contour and just apply some more, whatever's left on the brush. We're also gonna add powder on top of this, so I wouldn't worry about that part too much. I like my inner corner of my eyes to be a little bit brighter than the rest of my under eye. So I'm just going back and forth, making sure I blend out any lines, picking up any extra product. I'm going to be placing a little tiny bit of my Tarte Tape Shape Concealer right on the inner corners of my eyes in the color, this one's in the color medium. So just a little dot, so just like right here, that's all we need, and then right here. That's it, that's all we need. Like I said earlier, this Tarte Tape Shape Concealer is drying and it doesn't take a long time to set. So I'm just gonna go straight in with my beauty blender and start blending that out. Let's go here. Like I said, this concealer dries quickly. You gotta move quick with this one. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this powder puff. This is also going to be linked in my Amazon storefront. And I'm gonna set my under eye. So I'm using this Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder in the color 312. I'm gonna be using that to set my under eye. So before I do that, I'm just gonna make sure that everything is blended under here, so that there's no creasing. I'm going to put my powder puff in the powder and tap it in there, and then I'm going to press it on the back of my hand just to make sure I get an even application. I'm gonna lightly press just under my eye. Not too much down here because I still have more to do there, just right under my eye. You can set wherever else you want. I'm gonna set my chin area. Set that, my forehead, and bring it down the bridge of my nose. Okay. After we do that, we're going to bronze up a bit. I'm going to be using this Fenty Beauty Coco Naughty bronzer. And this is an E.L.F brush. It's super old. I don't know if they carry it anymore, but it's literally my favorite contour brush, and I could just not let her go. My dog even like chewed the bottom of this brush, which is crazy. And it's actually even coming apart, but I love it so much that we're gonna keep rocking with her until I find another one that I like. So I have some product on the brush, and we're just going to put that directly over our contour, as you can see here, and brush up. I'm gonna go around the perimeter of our face. Like I said, I use a light hand because it's harder to take away and easier to add product. You don't want to put too much and then you have trouble like blending it out type of vibes. I'm gonna get like another brush, and we're gonna contour the nose with the Coco Naughty. This is the M433 brush from Morphe. I'm just tapping it just a little bit in here, tap off the excess. I'm gonna start up here just in case I have too much product, since I already have shadow here, and I'm just gonna bring it down. I'll bring it up here just so that we're gonna create just a little line for our button nose. A little fake little button nose. Like that. And there we have it. Okay, and that was with our Coco Naughty with our M433 brush. Now we are going to finish our eyes. This is the steps that I like to do it. It might feel backwards a little bit, like it's too much going on, but this is the process that works best for me. So I'm getting another Morphe brush. This is the Morphe M210 brush. It's really small eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to put eyeshadow on my bottom lid here, my bottom lash line. So I'm getting the darker color chip, same shades that we also used on our upper lid, and I'm gonna go really close to the lash line, and I'm just gonna smoke it out. I'm going as close as possible to my bottom lash line, by the way. I'm gonna use the same brush that I just used. I'm gonna get like a paper towel or a tissue and just like swivel the brush in there, but I'm gonna use the same exact brush. I'm gonna go into the lighter shade that we used from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm gonna go back into Buns, and I'm gonna put that right underneath that darker shadow that I just put on my bottom lash line. Right underneath, and just kind of like blend them together, and it just looks so pretty. Then we're going to grab Feline again by MAC, and we're gonna put it on our inner waterline. Like that. And you see why I do the eyes first, because like I'm dragging, I'm like pulling my skin. So that's why I like to do the eyes first. We're not done yet though. Back in our bronzer brush, and I'm actually going to be using this bronzer that I was gifted. I don't know if Beauty Bakerie still sells this, but this is the bronzer, and I don't give a sip. I have this like tiny size. This is what it looks like. So we're using this bronzer here. And I'm gonna go right on top of my contour with that. I just feel like this brings the warmth back into my face. It just works so well. I've had this bronzer also for some time now, and I just love it so much. Before I used this bronzer, I used to use MAC Sun Power. They discontinued that. Oh my god, that was my favorite bronzer. I'm so sad they discontinued that, because that was my girl, okay? That was my girl. Okay, so I just go over the contour areas with it. Sometimes I just go over my whole face. It helps if you're looking kind of ghostly, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to, everything needs to just like blend. Like you don't want any like harsh lines, and just go over everything. I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is what we're gonna use. We're gonna be using her, and I do have her in honey as well, but sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too yellow for me, so the translucent one works a little bit better. Back with our powder puff. You can get a separate one or use the same one, it doesn't really matter. And this powder puff, look at that, look how much product I still have in that. That means I need to, wow, You see, this is what you don't want. You don't want that, so you need to use a different powder puff. Otherwise, all that powder is gonna go under your eye and it's gonna mess up everything you just did. I'll go right in our powder with her, just once, and then we're gonna just like press it on the back of our hands just to make sure. And I'm gonna put this right underneath my eye. Just like this. Whatever's left on the powder puff, just go underneath your contour with it. This is a really old brush. I forget what it's called. I think it starts with a B though. The company that made these. But you can use any brush. Ooh, you can use the one that I also have from E.L.F as well. So this is a Juvias Place, the blush palette. This is the volume 4. So we're gonna go into this color here, tap off the excess, and just go right on top of where you put the bronzer. I like to bring it into here. And that's why I said don't bring that powder too much there, because it starts to look cakey right there if you put too much. I like to use 2 blushes, so I use that one, and then I'm looking for my Girl Peaches by MAC. This is my tried and true blush. My favorite blush, Peaches by MAC. Go get her. She's amazing. She's my favorite. I like rebuy these all the time. So just tap in here, tap off the excess, and go right on top. And it just gives it like the perfect like pinky orangey shade. It just gives what I need it to give. That's what it's given. And you can see like the powder that I put before is already like melting into the skin while I do this. I like to put a little bit on my nose, just a little bit right here on the top. I love that. Now we're going to use this Sephora brush here. It doesn't have a name, does it? Yes, it does. Airbrush. This is a Pro Airbrush, the number 55. And I have this Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This is what we're going to be using here. And I'm going to brush it lightly all over my face. This is in the color Deep. And this is a Sephora powder. So she's very powdery, okay? So I just swirl it in here, tap off the excess. And this I'm going to use to brush away any of that like translucent powder, so my face doesn't look ghostly. The last thing I like to do is my lips, but before we do that, I'm gonna get a little bit more of my Beauty Bakerie bronzer and just go over my face just like one more time. I'm gonna first start in this area, forehead, nose. This just makes sure that I don't look pale or like not matching. I'm not afraid to like go over the highlighted areas either, because it just makes everything look more seamless. And I'm going to be using Chestnut, which is my favorite lip liner. Make sure she's sharp so that you can get that sharp line. If I can find my sharpener though. Where are you? Okay. We're going to get a small like, just like a shader brush. This one is a Jaclyn Hill brush, JH51. I'm going to show you what it looks like if you can't get this brush per se. It's similar to that other Morphe brush. It literally looks exactly the same, the Morphe 210 brush. This one's just a little bit bigger, but we're just going to use it to blend our lip liner out a little bit. So just get your brush and just like blend the edges of your lip liner in. The next lipstick I'm going to use is going to be Teddy 2.0 by MAC. Okay, and I'm just going to apply that right into the area, basically that I did shade in. Get that brush back and just like blend the edges together. I think we're looking good. Okay, the last thing that I like to do is highlight my face. I like to use one of these brushes. This is a fan brush. The number has like wiped off, but they pretty much all look like this. I have this Naked Illuminated Powder. This is discontinued. You probably can't find this online or in stores anymore, but that's what I'm going to use to highlight. You can also use a Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter palette, but I just don't know where mine is at the moment. So we're just going to go like this. I'm going to go right on top of my blush, like on my cheekbone with it. I'm going to go at the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Now we're gonna spray our face with our MAC Fix Plus spray. So I'm just gonna drench my face in this, and we're pretty much done. So here we go. I don't care if it goes on my eyes. I know some people like cover their eyes. I could care less, but we're gonna spray one more time and then we're finished. I actually have a fan here to speed up the process, so let me fan myself. Pretty girls have big foreheads. You already know the vibes. So after we do this, we just check to see if we want to add anything. I think I'm looking pretty good. I'm gonna spray my face with this Urban Decay spray. We're gonna spray our face a second time with this Urban Decay All Nighter spray. So get your Urban Decay All Nighter spray, and right on top of your Fix Plus, you're just gonna spray your face again. Now this is a very like dewy look. This is not matte. I don't really like my face. My skin's already combination leaning dry, so I pretty much don't like to have my face looking any drier, because the drier your face is, the more kicked up it's gonna look. That's the reason we have to put moisturizer before we start everything and make sure our face is well moisturized. That way you don't look kicked up. So now we're gonna spray our face again. That's it, and let's dry. SZA really did her big one on this album. Like, she did so good. Okay. So our face is dry and we're pretty much done. This is the face. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it was easy to follow along. We can do more looks on here, have girl talks. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to chat about, because I know you guys want girl talks. I know you guys want chit chat time, but I need to know what you guys want to talk about. So let me know in the comments. The last thing that I would say we can do is we can add mascara to our bottom lashes. Sometimes I like to do that, sometimes I don't, but let's just do it since I have it out here. Kush mascara on my bottom lashes. I got this as a birthday gift from Sephora, and I think I got it like 3 times already, so I've just been using that. We can also add brow glue to our eyebrows, or darken them at this point if you want to. So get your brow definer pencil or your brow wiz, and you could just like, anything that you might have rubbed off in the process, you can just like draw it back in. I like to use a very light hand, like I said, because you don't want it to look too dark. I'm gonna use this NYX brow glue on my brows real quick, and then we're pretty much done. Every time I do my makeup, I pretty much do the same thing, which is this look right here. I don't really do anything less. I can't do the no makeup look, so you probably won't see me do like one of those, because this is what I know how to do. Okay, so thank you guys for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what else you guys want to see. Put it down in the comment section.